Hola amigos, it's me Paul. Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is extra special because we are going to meet a very talented woman named Suze who moved from Iowa to Bucerias, Mexico. But that's not all. This video is also a follow-up from a previous video that we did where we featured Dave and Janice and they showed off their condo here in Bucerias. So we're gonna get to meet Suze and hear about her inspiring journey. And then we're gonna go check out Dave and Janice's home makeover. Vámonos.
I was living in Iowa and I moved to Bucerias in July of 2020. I originally moved to Puerto Vallarta and I was staying in a house there for 3 days. My dogs were being harassed by a gang of chihuahuas, and so we decided to find something that was a little bit calmer. So I came to Bucerias in a cab, and as soon as I got here, I knew it was for me. It was peaceful, there was more trees. I really like the walkability factor. You can walk anywhere. And I didn't have a car for about a year, living here, a year and a half, and it was totally fine. I walked everywhere, and it has everything you need. Banks, stores, and you can get to grocery stores that are bigger and have import items that I kind of had gotten used to and I really appreciated having. I moved to Mexico for a very particular reason. I wanted to start a building project, and so I had a couple of requirements for the country. I knew I wanted to be outside of the US, and so I was looking at countries that met these requirements. One was that I could bring my dogs because I have 2 rescues. The other thing was being able to buy land as a foreigner. That's a really big one, owning the land and being able to build. Because in some countries you can only lease the land for extended periods of time, but you don't ever own. The third was having fresh fruits and vegetables. That's really important for me to have that kind of commodity, whereas when there are other countries that only import that and it's expensive and it's not so fresh. The fourth thing was farmers markets. I use farmers markets as an indication of what kind of community it is. If they're selling a lot of local products, and I see the people that are selling there, the locals that are there, and I also see the people that are coming to the markets. And so it really helped me gauge, is this a place for me that I want to live in? You know, because I can see both sides, the visitors and the locals, and also see the interaction. So that's really important to me. And the last one is that the ocean. It had to be close to the ocean. I grew up by the ocean and most of my life besides Iowa, and so I really wanted to get back to that and really have that as something that I could just get up in the morning and take my dogs and run on the beach and enjoy, you know, sunrise or a sunset. That was pretty important. It's really hard to tell, I think, if you're going to love a place until you come and see how the energy is, how the people are, how the food is. I had been to lots of places in Mexico before, actually. I traveled quite a lot on the East Coast and also Central Mexico, and I hadn't done too much on West Coast Mexico, and I was really surprised at how different it was, and I felt that the culture here was very strong, which I really liked, and I felt that there was a nice integration between foreigners who were coming to live or visit here and the people that lived here. It's a huge resource to connect with people that already live here, and you can ask them questions that maybe you're embarrassed to ask, you know, that it seems kind of like silly, but it's different in Mexico, so how would you know? For instance, if you want to get bottled water, you know, you don't have filtered water in your house, which most houses don't, where do you get bottled water? And I had to ask my friend that already lived here, and he's like, oh yeah, there's a water truck that just drives by and you gotta like just hail it down, and there's no particular time that it comes here, and you just have to listen for the water truck and like run and go get it. And that's the same with gas, so that's kind of a funny thing. You don't expect that, but who's gonna tell you that? You need someone to be like, if you want water, you have to wait for the water truck and listen for the, you know, for them to call it out and then run out and get it. You definitely have to adapt when you live in Mexico. It's a different way of living. It's a different pace of living. You can't have everything on demand how you would normally have, like, say, in the US or Canada. And I kind of really like that because it forced me to slow down. It also forced me to realize you know, does everything have to move fast pace? You know, and I got into the rhythm of knowing when the water truck was going to come and when the gas was going to come, and it wasn't the end of the world to run out of water or gas. It was just, you could call them, so that's something. They don't come right away, but it's just getting into the rhythm of Mexico, which is slower, which is also one of the reasons why I moved, because I do want to be able to relax and enjoy life more, which is the way of life for Mexicans. When I first moved here, I saw this street dog, a female that could only use 3 legs, and I was really worried about her, and I called one of the shelters, A Dog's New Life, and immediately they sent someone out to see if they could help. And you know, and we determined that she had a nervous disorder, and so I ended up adopting her, Canela. And 2 years later, not only can she use all of her legs, as she just flies down the beach, and she's, you know, twice her weight and strength, and it's really great to see a dog that you took off the street living their best life now. I was an Airbnb host in the US. I was a super host for a while. And so I decided to do Airbnb here as well. So I first started renting a duplex in Bucerias, and I renovated it and I fixed it up and I put decor in, and I started doing Airbnb. Because what I found is that people were coming here and it was the decor was missing something for a lot of these places. They were really loving the access to the ocean, but they weren't getting, I guess, spectacular design and a place that was, you know, Instagram worthy, that they wanted to take pictures of and show, like, hey, you guys should rent here, to their friends or whatever. So I feel that that's also what really kickstarted also my interior design, is because so many people were seeing how popular my Airbnbs were, and it was really because of, I think, the way I designed it. So one of the things that I always do when I go into a space is renovate it, because, you know, decor and lighting and stuff like that is important, but you gotta have to get, you know, the bones in the right condition. So this house is a colonial Spanish style house, which is traditionally what was, you know, in Bucerias and Puerto Vallarta, but is kind of fading out. We're definitely seeing, of course, a lot of new buildings, a lot of new condos. Things are coming modernized, but what's so special about this house is that it's kept its character. Renovation actually is really helpful, especially for issues that you might not realize you have. So one of the things is that when we started to paint and prepare walls, that we found water leaks from the roof, which could have been a much bigger problem. So that was able to get fixed. And I think, like, before and after is so important to me, because people are like, wow, that's not the same space, because it looks so different. I think that's also why you want to hire an interior designer, because they can see potential, whereas other people are like, I don't know about this place. In Mexico, you never know what's beyond the gate. You never know what's beyond the door. It could be paradise, could not be. And so I think that that's kind of a big reveal. And what I always try to strive for is that when you first go into a space, you're like, oh wow, this is different. And the feeling is like something that comes with it, that like I immediately feel at home at this space. Or, you know, just looking around, it feels like, you know, you could feel the love in a space. And to me, that's really important. Oftentimes what I find with clients who want interior design is that when I go and visit their space, it's just a hodgepodge of things that they found because, you know, they got their condo, they bought it, they have their new dream vacation home and they want to fill it. So they end up doing, a hodgepodge of like some from Walmart, some from Costco, or some from like stores that they find on the street, and they fill it up, and then they realize that it's not what they want. That's not how they would normally choose it if they had a vacation home, say, in the US or Canada. When I go to visit houses, for instance, like Janice and Dave, they originally hired me just to do a few decor items, like buying some vases and to make it more homey and cozy. But I often find that when I meet with clients, it's kind of a therapy session because we really break stuff down. Like, all right, what is the problem? What are the issues? What do you want? What do you need? And after meeting them initially in their condo, they realized that they actually didn't want anything that they had in the condo at the time. And they wanted to change everything. And we ended up doing a full remodel.
All right, so here we are with Suze, Janice, and Dave. Hey guys.
Hey.
How's it going? And we're here today for the big reveal of Suze's work on the redecoration of your condo. And so Suze, tell me about this project.
Well, when I initially met with Janice and Dave, they told me they just wanted to buy a few pieces of decor to fill out their condo, which, you know, it's fine. I cater to people who want to just buy some furniture, or they want to do a whole remodel, or they have an empty place and they need to fill it all up. So when I met with them, we talked about their needs, but as we talked more, it became clear that they actually really wanted to transform their home. And we revisited a couple of issues that they had, and we realized that they wanted to make their space warmer and more homey-like and kind of balance out a lot of the black and white and gray that was already here. So we looked at that, and then it became more of a complete makeover.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah.
And just looking around real quick, in your house, it is beautiful, but we'll go through the whole thing in just a moment. What was your guys' reaction when you first saw Suze's work? Because she was working on it while you guys were away, right?
Yes,
Okay.
and she would update us with pictures of pieces and, you know, kind of a little glimpse of things here and there. But when we walked in, we were blown away. It was absolutely bang on what I wanted. It's like you were in my head.
Dave just did a little wink to the camera there.
Yeah.
It was exactly what Janice wanted.
It was.
Everybody's happy.
Yeah, it's
Happy wife, happy life. Is that what it is?
yeah.
But I think you're happy too, right, Dave?
Yeah, and it, you know, the process was really good because, you know, we did a lot of Zoom meetings so we could you know, talk in person, see things live on screen, and we got lots of samples and pictures and that type of thing. So
Cool, perfect.
Yeah.
Well, should we do a little tour?
Sure.
But before that, let's get some reenactments of your guys' reactions. So here we are at the entrance. And Suze, in their interview, you did mention that you like to have a impact when someone comes into the entrance. It's their first impression, right?
Yes, I think it's really important to, when you are entering a home, that you get an instant feel for it. And that's why the hallway or your entranceway to your home is so important, because you come in and you want to instantly feel like, oh yeah, I'm at home and I love my space.
Yeah.
So I think it's really important to have that. And this was really important for Janice and Dave because they told me that, you know, they didn't know what to do with this space, and it was really quite dark, and there was nothing here, and it instantly they felt very like it was uninviting.
Oh, okay.
So it was really important to make this space super impactful.
Yeah, and the first thing that I noticed when walking in is that this wallpaper over here, it has like a shine to it, right?
Yeah, this wallpaper is actually cork, and it has a little bit of like metallic gold and, you know, bronze behind it. And we really felt that this was an impactful wall. And a lot of times people think that you have to have artwork to make an impact, but I think that you can use color or wallpaper, and it also brings a really nice warmth to the whole space.
For sure, yeah.
So it's kind of the star, I think, of the hallway, maybe the home.
Yeah, maybe the home. Wow.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay. You also have this furniture piece.
Yeah, so all the furniture pieces that we included in the home is custom made.
Wow.
And there's a lot of luxury with that, because when you custom make a piece, you can design it. And so, you know, I had this specially designed to fit the needs of Dave and Janice. And then once you do that, you can custom make other pieces to kind of connect it all. So we did another piece in the kitchen, and we kind of wanted to have a unity, and so everything goes together. So that was kind of important.
Very cool. All right, we'll see that piece in just a second. I see the kitchen right through there. Should we go there next? Let's do it. First thing I noticed is this light piece here.
Yeah, for me, I guess for us, it's an amazing piece that took a lot of work to get it installed. There was a couple of false ceilings that we weren't aware of that they had to go up into, so there was a lot of work involved in anchoring it to the ceiling.
Yeah.
But just the fact that Susan was able to get a designer or a carpenter to build the Peralta wood that ties in with the piece in the front foyer, and just ties in the whole place with all the furniture that we had previously as well as what's been added.
This piece is a good example of how interior decorating can be problem solving. Really, you come into a space and you're like, well, how do I solve this issue?
Sure.
Because Janice and Dave have a lot of like black and white, but they wanted to make it homey and they wanted to have the browns. And so we have to kind of think of, well, how can we use what's here and also incorporate that and make it all work together?
Yeah.
And so making the kitchen warmer was really important for them to make it cozy, give it more light. So we started to add more earthy elements like wood, and we did the tiling with natural stone, and that really started to make the kitchen very cozy and warm. And now of course they want to spend time here and they love it, and Janice was saying she loves getting her coffee in the morning and just having this low light and just having that feeling of coziness.
And this is a fun little area over here with this bench. I don't know, what do you call this? This is where you say you wait for dinner to be made?
Yes, yeah.
Perfect. Maybe you wouldn't think of putting a bench right here, right? Or anything like this.
No, and we thought the bench would warm it up a bit, and it's an opportunity for people that are visiting to have a seat and just chat with who's ever preparing the meal or the drinks, and
sure.
And the pop of color on the wall as well really fills it in nicely.
One of the things that you were talking about in the interview was that here in Mexico, you can get customized furniture and it's not going to break the bank, right?
Yes, so that's something that people don't know about Mexico, is that one thing is that they don't really have big box stores, so you can't just go to a store and buy furniture. It really is easy. But in Mexico, you can get your furniture custom designed, which means a carpenter actually gets the wood, customizes it just to the right size, your home. And then we can do things like if you want to put in shelves, or you decide, okay, no, actually I want drawers here. So you can put anything you want, which really helps a homeowner, because you can decide, well, I need more shelves, or I need more drawers, or I wanted to keep this for a special thing. And the thing with custom-made furniture in Mexico, it's very, very affordable.
Yeah.
It's a fraction of the price, say, if you were to get a custom piece designed in the US or Canada.
Yeah, in some cases, it might even be cheaper than what you find at, Costco or Liverpool or wherever you end up finding furniture.
The only thing is that it does take time, because they actually make this from scratch. And so you are looking at 6 to 8 weeks to build custom furniture, but you have furniture that will last forever. It's completely solid, and you don't have to worry about it being broken or dented in 5 years. And so you're really actually saving so much by creating furniture that is forever furniture, really.
Yeah. And it's not something where you're like, oh, I just need a piece, let me just put it there for now, and then later you're gonna have to replace it, you're gonna have to sell it, and then you end up doing that 3 or 4 times. You're like, why didn't I just do it right the first time?
Right? Yes. A lot of people will just settle and they'll have a mismatch of furniture and they just get used to it. And I think that's also why when I go to talk to clients, they're like, well, we just need a few pieces, or we just need this. And then they realize, no, actually, I've been living with stuff that I didn't want to be living with forever. And I would like to, really make my home a home. And, that's really important, to make it something where they really want to be spending so much time in, because they love it already.
Yeah.
But making it like even more exactly how they want makes it super special.
So here we are in the living room, and it's beautiful. And what was the story with the couch before? It was kind of what we were talking about just now there, right?
Yeah, so we had ordered a couch during COVID, and sight unseen, we weren't able to go to Guadalajara to choose the materials or the style, and did it all online, and had ordered this nice sectional sofa with a bed in it. And it was supposed to be gray, and then when it came, it was kind of aquamarine. And so as Susan said earlier, we accepted it because we weren't here to be involved in the design or the delivery receipt, but you just sort of settle and make the best of it. And so when it came time to change things, it was one of those things that we had to part with, and it went to a good home. But
yeah, you said it ended up being somebody who has a bunch of dogs, so now it's like a sofa for a bunch of dogs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
perfect.
Yep. Yeah, so they're happy, she's happy, we're happy.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah. And what do you think about the living room here, Janice?
This is a very beautiful, cozy space. I love just cozying up on the couch, watching some TV. I like my coffee outside, but here, a glass of wine at night. It's warm, like the wallpaper, the lighting. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about the style being like Mexican bohemian.
Okay.
We wanted to have warmth, we wanted it to have textiles and a feel. So we really worked on introducing natural materials like the wood and the stone. But for the living room, we did these, handmade pillows that are made out of wool from, I work with suppliers that use families that do their particular craft for generations, and that's also important for me because I want to work with Mexican suppliers, and so I do almost all Mexican suppliers. And so we worked with textiles, and we got a rug that also is great for having company, but also giving warmth to the room, and very durable. So we look at a lot of things like wanting comfort, but also we need durability for the rug because we're gonna have a lot of guests and traffic. So
very cool.
Yeah, we talked about color in the bedroom, with the mustards and so forth. And initially Janice didn't feel that, she felt that yellow was too much. And then Susan, convinced you, I guess, or convinced us that, it was...
I met with her by Zoom one day, and she was showing me it actually on the computer, and it's like, you know what? I'm falling in love with that.
Yeah.
So the bedrooms are really, really nice colors, something I wouldn't have probably picked myself.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so here we are in the patio. This was Dave's room that he got to keep, right? Or his part of the house that he got to keep.
This is true. Yes.
Yeah.
I got my artwork on the wall.
Yeah, the fishies.
Yep.
And they used to be over there, right? Like above your desk?
They were, yes.
Yeah, okay.
So they're a local artist here in Bucerias that we bought those from, and so it's my pop of color.
There you go. Yeah. I like it. Mm-hmm. And was there that much change out here in the patio?
Not an awful lot. New mat, some new plants. This tall light, and the short light are Susan's ideas, and but the other pieces were here previously, and this is where we spend most of our time. And it's and admittedly, it's sort of the envy of all the condo owners who walk by. They're pretty amazed with this space. And
for sure.
As I say, we spend a lot of time out here.
And that's why you guys probably picked this condo, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Susan just came in and made it warm with the plants and that. I would never have we're only here for a few months. Why would I need a bunch of plants? But you do.
It does add life.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
The house.
Even though we have the greenery around us, to bring it into our space is key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your feeling about your home before and then now, Dave?
Before it was a nice space, but it was very antiseptic, and we couldn't really figure out how to make it feel homey, and so it was nice to come here, but we didn't have that warm attachment to it. So the transformation's been great because now we come here and we feel we unwind, we relax. It feels like our own, and we're very proud of it. So it's we're quite proud to show it to people out there. Either by video or in person. Friends come by, and they're blown away by what Susan's done for us.
Very cool. And how about you, Janice?
It wasn't home for me before. It was just a space to sit in, and now it's home.
Wow, what did you guys think of that condo makeover? The before and afters, when I was creating this video, I was like, oh my gosh, it's so much better. And that is a testament to Suze's work. She did an amazing job with Dave and Janice's condo, which now, as Janice just said, has become a home. And here's something special just for you. Right now, Suze is offering Moving to Mexico viewers 15% off designer fees for custom designs and 20,000 Mexican pesos off for her furniture packages. Follow the link in the description of this video to check out Suze's website. And remember, mention Moving to Mexico to get those special deals. And also, if you're interested in moving to Mexico, you gotta pick up your copy of the Mexico Relocation Guide. This guide has all the resources you need for moving to Mexico. You can make the wise decision, do it right the first time, don't make costly mistakes. The Mexico Relocation Guide. Follow the link on the screen or in the description below. Thank you so much for following along. It means the world to us. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. De mi familia a la tuya, Dios te bendiga.